It's Fry Pan on a Friday. Puma Select Stories, we're on episode 8. Now, you know how when you want to find out more about people, you go onto the Instagram. Now, today, we're going to Kasiflavour10.com just to unravel how the storyteller is in actual fact telling his story by telling our stories. What do we do now? Click! Let's go! Here we are, episode 8. This one is going to be very, very special. Real storytelling. Now, a few months ago, there were certain activities and things that were attempted in football. And there was this phrase that we saw on social media. It said, football, created by the poor, exploited by the rich. But this is what I believe. Football is created by the poor and democratized by the people. And one of the most important people in that history right now is sitting right across me, Kabelo Kungwane. It's seen in culture.
But you as a culture, we're always pushing it forward, man. Thank you for having me, Frypan.
I'm glad we're having this conversation right now. I mean, the last few years I've known you, every time we see each other, the reason why I said it's in culture, that's what you ask me all the time.
Yeah. For me, always manglangana nawe, like we always like talk about culture, like where is it heading, or like way up, like from our own understanding, so yeah, man, we're here and we're still pushing it forward,
Of course. I mean, if I would title this episode, it would be that it's in culture.
Yeah.
No, the reason why I say that is because, dog, you document culture so beautifully. It is from a football perspective primarily, but you've been able to tap into so many other elements.
Yeah, sure.
And that's what we're going to go into right now.
Sure.
But before we get into the serious things, how's your morning?
Man, it's great. Gabanda, finally able to wear my nice coats, because we hardly get like a nice proper winter, For me, like,
it's for me, it's surprising because right now we're like in spring, pretty much, right? But it's one of those days where you're like,
it's like, with August, before like Ipela, it's Ivalele, so yeah.
It's gonna go September,
Yeah.
So tell me, Doc, let's go back to the beginnings. You, born in Alex, find yourself in Durban, then Cape Town, then Alex again.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Because my father was a professional footballer, and I grew up in Alex, but because like he was moving clubs, he played for Manning Rangers, so I had to go live in Durban, and then he went to a short stint Cape Town.
Okay.
Yeah, Kumbula, basically doing like Robben Island. But I was young, like doing Robben Island, Table Mountains,
nice.
and then when he was about to retire, we went back to live at Alex, and then that's where like I grew up, Yeah.
That's your hood.
Yeah.
Through and through.
Yeah.
Still there?
Yeah.
I love it. Now, you did make a note of your father. Just for context, your father is Shakes Kungwane.
Yeah.
The legendary Shakes Kungwane.
Yeah.
It's not just another player. You know what I mean? And what I love is how you played football as well.
Sure.
Through his academy.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Shakes Kungwane is one of the iconic football players in South Africa who played for Kaizer Chiefs. So he'd always tell me, I'm fetching a star. Even though when I like like in my prime, but like you should know that Gucci was like Guzalo star, and you'll always mele uqhubekise like the legacy.
Of course.
Like with good like mina ngiyaphila or angiseko, but what like I've teach you like into mele like kulobu like yeah. And then playing, I played like at his academy. So when he retired, we encouraged him because he was always trying to help kids from Alex, to get teams, to make it professionally, Begumuntu that always wanted to help people. So for him to have an academy, to help kids from Alex to realize their dreams, like that's how he did it,
And the academy is not the first attempt of actually doing that. It feels like your father has been doing, he's had an academy all his career.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact, I heard a story that also another legendary soccer player, Brian Baloyi,
Yeah.
the legendary Spider-Man,
Yeah.
was actually kind of given a through pass,
Yeah.
metaphorically,
Yeah.
by your dad.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's how he got his big break.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Because my dad was a star set up, you
Yeah.
know, and he was someone who was open and bega kuluma. Yeah, so he went to the coach and like, yo, coach, we're struggling in the goalkeeping department.
Yeah.
And I know someone like that can help, who's from Alex, you know. And then since then, like, he took Brian from the hood, and then Amisa like get him in to train with Kaiser Chiefs, and then like that's how he was signed, you know, like without agents, without. He'd always like call his friends like to help them, which is in team like come and and try your luck, you know, and then that's how Brian made it to Kaiser Chiefs, yeah.
And ever since then, man, it's been all good for him.
Yeah.
And I'm sure for more people within the academy
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah.
And shout out to your dad, man, because I feel like that's a very important one. Besides him being a star, he was able to give so many other superstars an opportunity. I feel that's what you do as well, and you document that quite well. Your website, Kasiflavour10.com. I feel like we just closed the About tab right now.
Yeah.
Because that's your story.
Yeah,
That's
for
the
sure.
story of Kasi Flavour. Now, you also into fashion. Started in high school.
Yeah.
And a big part of it is when you met this guy called Wanda
Yeah.
the Porto.
Yeah.
Tell me about that story, because you guys are an amazing duo.
Okay, sure. We went to Haddon's Not Boys. It's like a boys' school, you know. You know, growing up, Guarana, Yalanziwa, and Yakumbuna during like our civis days, we used to be different, you know. He was a grade ahead of me, but like the way we sit going a corner, like guys, like they would say, and like when I'm not like similar to like Wanda, you know, cause like they were slega most of the time, and then that's how we connected, man, cause we shared like so many similar interests, and like since then, like till today, like we're still brothers, you know. So yeah, like that's how we met, through like style, fashion, you know, and since then, like we've been like growing and developing.
Yeah. So there's a story about thrift, because that's how you guys started.
Yeah.
Thrift. How do you start and how do you develop the thrift culture and pretty much it becoming a something?
I remember during my matric dance, that's when, because I told my parents, like, yo, I need a tailor, like for my suit.
Yeah.
But I knew I wasn't going to go to a tailor. I'd go to like thrift so that like I can save money, you know?
Yeah.
So since then, like thrift taught us a lot of things, you know, like in terms of design, in terms of detailing, in terms of history, you know. So
Nice.
for us, China like it thrift gets like is scale, you know. Like we see it as cool because like it taught us style, like it taught us a lot of things.
Of course.
That we didn't know, because like we were like our curious, so that like helped us with okay, sharp. So if you dressed a certain way, you're representing this era, and then like how you can put it together to make it fresh, like it showed Gucci ne fashion era around, you know.
Of course.
So yeah, like that's how, like for us, like it thrift, it's something that we still do it till today, because we always learning. We like
It's like the ABCs, right?
Yeah.
It's going to teach you the classic cuts,
Oh.
the classic stitching.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about people. They need to understand that thrift is more of an ABC and accessing things that are not immediately around from different types of ages, right? Is this how what we know as the Sartists starts?
Yes, that's how like it started, you know, because I studied history like in high school, you know. So and then like we used to check textbook, and basically like about Martin Luther King, how they dress.
Nice.
Like you see now we beat your hairstyle like
Come on.
Yeah. That little stuff less is inspired like how like this is interesting. Look like it's suit baked kanje, and then like how we can like articulate it like today,
Yeah.
And then that's how we learned about telling stories like through fashion, through culture, and through history.
I love that. And somehow, this was how many years ago?
Maybe like 10, 11 years ago, yeah.
But now you're doing it on another level, dog. Because the stuff you have, I'm about to reveal something right now.
Yeah.
I know it's going to shock people.
Yeah.
But they gotta see it.
Sure.
Blam! This is Puma Duo Flex Teenage Zaza. Original boot. Not a one that was bought in a store. This was actually a retirement. This is the last boot he wore. And he gave it to your dad.
Yeah.
You gotta break down this history, B.
B, this is one of the sentimental things my dad kept, because my dad didn't really take football seriously or like things that he achieved. He used to sell his kid to like abantu.
Yeah.
I remember the time where he didn't have tracksuits for a camp because like he used to give people or sell sometimes like because he didn't really take football like seriously like that. Also, I don't have my dad's jersey because like a lot of people like wanted like his things.
Of course.
But with this, he kept this like for years. Like, and then I mean, growing up, I used to see it, but I didn't really care. But like a year before he passed on, like he told me, like, actually, like this boot reminds me of where I come from, And Teenage was one of the guys that he looked up to, and for him to give him the Cox Lily and the jersey, because like there's this thing, the culture of Kaiser Chiefs with like jerseys. If you want a jersey of a great player and he dons it to you, like it's a sentimental thing to carry on the jersey number. So that's how he kept the boot. And today, like when I look at it, I feel like it needs to be at a museum or him, or because like he's still alive, I'd love him to sign it or something, because this is what inspired me, because of the stories behind this magnificent boot.
Of course.
So yeah.
I mean, this definitely deserves to be in a museum, and I feel like you are a museum yourself.
Yeah.
Your website has a tab that says museum, and it reveals all this. Not only do you tell stories of the 1970s and 80s football, but you also take it to the 90s as well. A legendary peer of your dad.
Yeah.
I'm about to reveal something again from your museum. This is the original Dr. Khumalo 16V Puma boot. Man, I've been looking for this all my life. You feel me? Because I played soccer in primary school. Everyone wanted to be a Dr. Khumalo.
Yeah.
But if you hit that no-look pass, it's Shakes Kungwane.
Yeah.
Now tell me about this one.
Good Doctor used to be my dad's friend. And I remember growing up, he used to come to my house and like chill. Like my dad loved to cook, so he'd cook for him. And they'd always like discuss about, I'm a defender now, like about Kapai,
Yeah.
And for me to have a boot like Elaga Doctor means a lot, because I didn't know who Doctor was when I was like 5, but he used to come endlini, and then when I saw him making music like on TV, it's like how I like with Bob Mapena.
Yeah, get funky.
Yeah, like I used to see him play, but now like it's a studio, like actually this guy is a superstar,
Yeah.
And me going around to find this boot and to archive it, it means a lot, because Doctor is one of the iconic players as well in South African football history.
No doubt.
And a lot of people want to emulate what he did, and kunzima mfethu, because like he's one of the best players that I've seen.
To ever grace
Yeah.
the field of soccer,
Yeah.
not only locally, but internationally.
You fit.
He's still alive too.
Yeah.
Somehow I feel like if you're family of Teenage Ladla or Dr. Kumalo, hit us up. We need to get these signed.
Yeah.
ASAP. Very important. Now let's move right along and go maybe a little bit deeper. We've told your fashion story. That's what you have, kind of a fashion tab that I feel like your project tab is your fashion tab.
Yeah.
Let's close that. Go deeper into the museum right now. You know what I mean? You guys, you and Wanda, you are the Sartists. It's about style.
Yeah.
But around about 2012, I think, you start getting good images of the stuff you wear and the stories you present. And the guy behind it is Andile Boga.
Yeah.
How do you meet that guy, and what does he add to the Sartist collective?
So I remember sihlangana no Andile, it was a street cred, you know?
Yeah.
He just came to us like, yo, bafethu, yo, nina, nintswembu, ngifuna ukunishuta one day. Because like a lot of people used to come to us, hey, photo shoot, you know, Bram, Mawaneng, like, yo. And then with him, the way that he came to us was like, yo, bafethu, I like what you guys are doing. It's stuff saying so dope. I'd like to shoot you guys. Like, okay, cool. And then he hit us up on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I'm that guy. And then when we check his profile, like, yo,
What
like,
are you doing?
yeah, dog, like, Ntswembu, like how he documented the Orange Farm and like how he shot Amapram walks.
Yeah.
That like people used to do like on Instagram. They were so different, you know, and we related to his style of photography, you know, and ever since, like, we're still working till today.
I love it.
We shot like a lot of projects, you know. We shot a tennis, and then we shot this other one about football, you know, which was like very closer to my heart because, like, football is my life, you know.
Ever since.
Yeah.
You grew up on it.
Yeah.
Dope. So at this point, it goes from one person, two people with fashion, a photographic element with history being told through photography right now. Now, I want to put a spin on this. 2019, I'm at Complex Con wearing one of your T-shirts.
Yeah.
The Shakes Kungwane, you know, look past one. I walk and I see this guy. I followed him for about 2 months at that time. And I'm like, yo, I know this guy. I've got to go speak to him. And this is how the conversation goes, at least the first part of it. Wait.
This guy for, I think, about 2 months now. Found him on Explorer, loved his vibe, a true artist. And his name is Kid Super. Kid Super, real name is Colum DeLand. I came here and you loved my t-shirt. Why? I'm a big soccer fan. And my t-shirt is Kasi Flavour by Kabelo Kungwane. This is the latest Shakes Kungwane tee. He loves soccer. He just gave me his small soccer ball. I didn't do any justice to it. It's been years since I played. I saw a little bit. There is glimpses of talent. Thank you.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Kid Super. I know you like that dude because he tells a story, a football story, through his history and his perspective. Same thing you're doing. Few seasons ago, not even a few seasons, a season ago, he just got a collab with Puma, and this season a collab with Puma as well. So you guys have all this correlation. He saw your T-shirt, didn't care about me.
Yeah.
Really loved your T-shirt,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And for me, it's just said to me, it confirms something I'd known, that you are part of a global conversation, and how you're doing it is perfect because people like yourself, anywhere in the world, they relate without even knowing context.
Yeah.
I don't know, do you realize this?
Yeah, for sure. Yes, I do. Because I've always wanted to start something. Like when we started the Sartists, we always didn't see ourselves as like local people, like South Africa. Yes, we were doing work for South Africa, but we've shown and exhibited in London, in Amsterdam, you know.
Yeah.
And same with Kasi Flavour. It's a global brand, you know.
Of course.
If I call it like that, because a lot of people are learning about South African football culture through it, and we're taking it to the world.
Of
course. So for him to love what I'm doing, like it shows that like he relates to the brand, and also like through like design and like art, because like he paints a lot, and like most of his collection like is about paintings. And so when he saw that, he was like, oh wow. And it's more richer because it's African and it's something that he doesn't know. But when he saw that, now he's like following what we do and he's learning from what we do.
Definitely.
So, which is dope,
I love that, man. Now, this takes us to another evolution of what is known as the Sartists. There's 3 of you guys.
Yeah.
But there's this one dude that just comes in.
Yeah.
Xavier Zulu. When this dude comes in, from my observation, certain things seem to advance.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much the retail part and the business part of what is the Sartists.
For sure.
4 members. How do you meet that dude and what does he do in that collective?
So Xavier uhlangene noWanda through Tumblr.
Yeah.
Like they were talking and DMing each other, like showing love. And then when he came through, because he went to Vega and he started being an art director, I remember. So Tina Besi shooter, so we were shooting and documenting ourselves, and then publications from Europe, the States would pick it up, and then like, oh wow, but we didn't know what like since. And so when he came, he started like helping us like building presentations to formalize what we do, because now he was doing the same thing, and like that's how we became brothers, and I'll always thank Xavier for being there for us to give us light, which like this thing we can run it as a business,
Of course.
Which you can create something or like isithombe, and then a brand or a magazine would want to work with us like through that. But it helped us to position ourselves ukuthi kube yi-business, because uye esigela, like I've learned a lot from him going to school,
Of course.
Same with Wanda, he went to Lysof. I've learned how to make clothes and how to make patterns like through him. So as brothers, like we like with our skills as a collective, we learned so much like from each other
and share all of that.
Yeah.
And it shows, because what I'm about to reveal shows what you had learned from Wanda and Xavier.
Yeah.
From creating these wares.
Yeah.
And how to sell them.
Yeah.
Because you have a store tab on your website, right?
Yeah.
And I'd like to reveal something else. Yo, man, this episode is about the reveals for sure. One more reveal. Blam! This is a Chomosono. What is this? Chomosono jacket. What's happening here? You gotta explain this.
It's a imaginary varsity jacket that we made for Chomosono King,
Nice.
Because we grew up wearing like masokala like ukudlala ibhola as a kid. Most people, it's either bakubhayela Argentina or a Chomosono King,
Of course, I had both.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, Tina like uJomo besingamazi mfethu. We always used to hear stories of him.
Of course.
My dad used to tell me, my uncle, like everyone has a story about Chomosono, He left his wedding to play for Pirates and score, and then he came back.
He's got the winning goal.
Yeah.
And came back. Yeah.
So I think for us as like an iconic football player, I've read about him, and when I looked at his pictures, he always wore this boot, and as a creative that makes clothes, I've always wondered, like, how will it be dope if like Jomo would have a capsule range of him, because like it's always been about boots, and as Tina, like Kasi Flavour, we're more like about the football culture and lifestyle, so we designed this as an imaginary idea if like the brand would like outlive like boot to like t-shirts to like jerseys.
A whole range.
Yeah. You see like now like how they do with like Puma by Puma or with
Rudolph as well.
Yeah,
I mean, right at the store here, there's a rail
Yeah.
of the King.
Yeah.
Puma King
Yeah.
collection.
Yeah.
It speaks to this directly.
Like imagine if like they did something like this for Ujomo, for like South Africa, you know? 'Cause,
Yeah.
like a lot of people do relate to him. Like imagine if like they spend it to 2020, like in terms of like style and heritage, you know.
I like, yeah.
That's how they did, like they're doing now with the legacy collection of Rudolph, you know, like
That's it.
premium, high end, good quality, you know.
Yeah.
I'd love to do something like, I'd love to see if they do something with Jomo like that, you know.
And involve you.
Yeah, for sure.
From your mouth to God's ear. It has to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think you're the most capable person and the most passionate person to do it. Because you are already doing it.
Yeah.
The shorts that we have right here.
Yo, man.
Those are the classic joints with the number 10. You got to tell me about those.
So those shorts, like we made shorts, like with pockets, like to show what like it's a lifestyle short, but like it's an summer essential because like a lot of people love those shorts in summer. You know, like you can dress up, dress down, and like the way we design them, like we design them to be timeless. You know, because in number 10. Like you're the flyest guy when you're wearing number 10.
Of course.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's one of those shorts like that will like be in the collection for like years to come, you know, because it's staple. Like we made it to be like a staple piece that like you need to have like in the summer.
And we all got to get those, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. I think right now what we just closed is your store tab, shop tab.
Yeah.
To be specific. There's one more tab that I feel like is very special. That's the journal. Very few people know that you are a professional and a seasoned journalist.
Yeah.
Trained and practicing. And now you're practicing through this tab.
Yeah.
That is journalism. Before we even get there, let's talk about your journey. How did you get into journalism via school and what have you done with it?
You know, straight out of high school, I didn't know what to study, you know, and I've always told you this, Gucci. I wish like I went to more creative, but we weren't exposed. Gucci kune fana nama Vega, nama AAA,
of course.
yabo. And I was under pressure. Like I don't want to just sit at home, you know. And with me being in love with like reading magazines, you know, from GQ, your Kickoff. I always wanted to like write, you know, from a dope angle, you know, because I'd read something, okay, this is dope, but I feel like if I'll do it in this certain way, like it would be like dope, you know. So I did journalism because of that. And ever since, like I've learned a lot because like how we write stories with Kasi Flavour, it's more of like you connect with the story, and it's not something like you can find on your Kickoff or your GQ Mag, like about that person or about that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, man, because I think what we've just done right now is go through your entire website.
Yeah.
And show people how your work
Yeah.
is in actual fact a representation of you.
Yeah.
And as a consequence, a representation of us.
Yeah.
Because as a kid who played football in primary and high school, I can relate to everything you said. Not with the sports as well, because I feel like it's just a metaphor for how life starts, is influenced, grows, and begins again. And I feel like this moment and this season that you're in is a very special season where you're beginning again and telling this beautiful story. And the website is Kasiflavour10.com. Before we even wrap up here, we got to talk about Kasi Flavour, dog. What is Kasi Flavour? Because there's a lot of people around the world don't know what Kasi Flavour, and everything you present is wrapped around that philosophy of Kasi Flavour. So as a kid from Alex, growing up in it, I need you to explain it in the most authentic way. What is Kasi Flavour?
Kasi Flavour is how we play as South African. It's the style of play, and it's about how you express yourself on the field, you know. And it is something that we all have, like Kasi Flavour. Like young child, like you can, like we are dribula, or we are jiva, like it's that. It's something that identity to as South Africans, like how we play, you know. And I feel like with the representation of the website, like it talks about creativity, it talks about self-expression, and always like being authentic to you, you know. For me, that's how I see Kasi Flavour, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love it, man. And I think you are the epitome of Kasi Flavour through and through with everything that you do by just living, you know?
Yeah.
And as you know, man, that's how we wrap up this episode. You got to look at your camera. It is right over there.
Yeah.
And there's lots of kids out there, young, old, that dream of taking their passion and making it a career. And being yourself fully is the most empowering space you can be in. You are in it right now.
Yeah.
So you're the best person to even talk to this. There's a kid in the hood, can't imagine themselves outside of the hood with their story.
Yeah.
I need you to look at the camera and just talk to them.
Show to show sister. Just love your work and always like research, stay curious, and also like don't forget yourself and staying true to yourself. Young child. So that's how I do it, and like that's how I'm still doing it. So always staying true to yourself, research, and also like learn noma hubani, you know. So yeah.
Dope. And that's it. That's why I love having this conversation with you, knowing you, because you're an inspiration to me, simply because you are who you are. You know, the most powerful thing you can be is yourself, and grow and have the world appreciate you for that. And I'm still working on that. So seeing people like you and telling your stories and telling other people's stories is deeply encouraging me. I'm not just saying that because we're on camera and whatnot.
Yeah.
I truly mean it. You know the amount of respect I have for you.
Appreciate
so with that said, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for everybody watching. If you got that Kasi flavor in you, now you've got an actual evidence to show it, reveal it, grow within it, and become your best version. And we out.